to episode 5. Up to now, we've been focusing on pretty general advice for keeping your email organized. This time, I thought I would provide a more specific tip for getting the most out of Google Apps, and also break away from Gmail, somewhat at least, to demonstrate how mastering some of the other apps tools can really make your life a whole lot easier. Fundamental to working in the Google Apps environment, email, docs, calendar, sites, the whole kit and caboodle, is having accurate contact information for the people you want to communicate and collaborate with. Through history, this has always been an issue with communication tools. To send a letter, you need an address and a postal code.
Did you remember to put your return address and zip code on the letter?
Yeah, Dad, I did.
Billy has followed the correct form, putting the address in the center of the envelope and the return address in the upper left-hand corner.
The evolution of telephone communications was accompanied by the evolution of phone books and directory assistants and operator-assisted calling. Similarly, in the digital age, our email, Google Docs, shared calendars, groups, Google Sites, they all still require knowing the Google addresses of the people you work with, students, parents, and colleagues. Perhaps your school already has an efficient system for maintaining this type of information. Having all of your collaborators part of the same Google Apps environment is certainly helpful, making it easy to search for them. Perhaps your administrator has even created groups of staff and students for you. At some point, however, you will probably be faced with the task of collecting contact information and using that information to meet your specific needs, whether that's sending out a group email, sharing a Google Doc, or inviting somebody to collaborate on a Google site. Groups of parents, students, or colleagues from other schools may operate outside of your local domain. At my school, for example, younger students are issued school domain Google accounts, but the upper school students create their own standard Google accounts. So, my tip today will demonstrate how to create a Google form to collect email and other information, and how to quickly take that information and use it in other parts of the Google Apps suite. Even if you've never worked with Google Forms before, I think you'll find that this is a simple, fast, and extremely useful place to start. As with most Google Apps, the place that we're going to start today is in your Drive menu. Okay. So I'm going to take you through the steps in creating this form, but just to demonstrate how easy it is, for the next little bit I'm not going to use any edits or any cuts. I'm just going to do it beginning to end. We'll put a little timer in the corner just to show you how quickly you can do this once you get used to the process, of course. So step 1, go over, click the Create button. We want to create a form. We should get a sample form, a blank one. So the first thing I'm going to do is click off the Require Sign In to view this form, because of course we're collecting emails from perhaps outside the domain, and so we want everybody to be able to use this form. Quick little title. Down to the first question. First question is just going to be first name. The reason I like to separate first and last names, it just makes it easier to sort the information later. Make this a required question. Edit question 2. Not surprisingly, this is going to be last name. I'm going to make this a required question also. The third question is going to be Google email address. I'm specifying Google so I can use this information to share Google Docs and other things besides email, but you can of course just collect email addresses if you'd rather. And I'm going to add one more too. I'm going to have them choose from a list. I'm just going to sort of play the role of a teacher here. A teacher that teaches multiple sections. So we'll do that. Option 1 would be section 1, section 2, section 3, etc. very, very quickly. And I'm also going to add a parent field as well. So if parents sign up, they can specify that as well. Okay, that's basically it. The form itself is done. So, less than 2 minutes to create the form, and now all we have to do is share it, which we can easily accomplish using this link at the bottom of the page. It might be a good idea to use a link shortener to create a link that's easy to share and easy to type into a browser. Or, to make it even easier, you can embed the whole form on a website. If you're using Google Sites, this is particularly easy. So I just want to show you what a similar form looks like embedded directly on a Google site. You'll notice here it is. and you can go in and you can fill out the form without actually leaving the website at all. You don't actually have to visit the Google form at all, which is super handy, especially with kids, not having to direct them to 5 or 6 different places. They can submit the information, and again, they don't have to leave the site at all. Just to illustrate for you how you would add this to a blank page, I'll just create one quickly for you. Create the page. And then in order to insert it, I just go up to the Insert menu, not surprisingly, choose Spreadsheet Form. It'll pull up my own Google Drive account, and then I can just choose the form off the list, and it will insert it right in there. No need for embed codes or anything complicated like that at all. Maybe put it in the center, hit Save, and then there it is. Hopefully, with a little bit of imagination, you can realize some of the potential of this tool. Considering it only took a minute or two to set up, you could easily put it up on the projector at the beginning of class, just preparing the document as the kids are walking in. You could put it up on a class website and use it to maintain an ongoing contact list throughout the entire year. When student contact information changes, you just direct them back to the form for them to provide new information. If you were giving a presentation at a conference, you could have a shortened link as part of your PowerPoint, and then all the members of the audience, as they're coming in, could provide you with their contact information, and then you could be sharing documents and collaborating with them in moments. So I'm going to show you a couple examples of how that works and just how easy it is. I'm back at my Google Drive folder, as you can see, and the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go up here and just search for all of my spreadsheets. You'll notice that there's the one we created earlier, and there is a spreadsheet associated with that form where all the data gets stored. Now I'm going to show you this one because I know that it's already populated with some contact information. So this is what the spreadsheet looks like with all the information being automatically dumped into this spreadsheet from the form. You'll notice there's a timestamp so that you get to see when all of the individuals put their information into the form, which is pretty handy for students especially. We've got our first name, last name section, and our Google account address, just like the previous form that we created. So once you have either students or parents or colleagues who have filled out this form, look how easy it is to work with the information. I'm just going to highlight and copy these Gmail addresses, and then I'm very quickly, I'm going to go back, and for example, I'm going to go to my contact list. Maybe I'm going to create a new group. Okay, so now that I've created a new group, I'm just going to add contacts to that group. And I'm just going to paste in those addresses from the spreadsheet. And look, it automatically adds those people to a group. Now, when I go back to Mail, if I want to send a message, Class 1 group instantly appears when I start typing it into the To field. So again, it only took me moments to set that up. Now I have the ability, throughout the rest of the school year, to instantly send emails to my entire class in one fell swoop. Those of you that are really observant probably noticed that I selected all of these email addresses and added them to the same group, even though they're clearly in different classes. But that's easy to resolve as well. I'm just going to click on the column that indicates what section they're part of, and then I'm just going to sort the column. And then look, all of a sudden, we can copy just the kids that are in 9-1 English, add them to a separate list, go down, now it's time to make a list for just 9-2, and so on. And even if you had a parent section, you could sort them and then separate all of those contact information into their appropriate groups. Really easy using a spreadsheet. Okay, one last example and then you're on your own. So this time I'm just going to select the students that are associated just with the social studies. I'm going to copy them just with Command-C. Now I'm going to flip over to Google Drive. I'm going to quickly create a folder called Social Studies, because I'm the social studies teacher in this scenario. I'm just going to scroll down, there's my folder, and then I'm just going to share that folder just by pasting the addresses that I copied from the spreadsheet right into the add field. Share and save. Confirm with a yes. And now every time I put something into that folder, it will automatically be shared to all of the people on that list. I don't need to share every individual document, although that would be pretty easy also with a list of emails. But now I just have to put things in the folder in order to share with them. So those are just a couple examples of things that you can do once you've made that small step of collecting all their Gmail account information in one place using a Google form. Hope you enjoyed it. See you next time.